are you guys happy with the 12 teams that got in? Do you think that's correct from what the committee had, from the committee's perspective, from what they've shown all year? Do you think 12 teams that are in are rightfully deserving of getting in?
I think it's good that they didn't go SEC heavy year one, just so if all these games get steamrolled, like SMU just gets walloped, for example, then next year they can be like, well, we learned from previous years.
To me, strength of schedule is severely underweighted as of right now.
And are they going to be using like precedent for next year too, like what they used in the past year and the past years? I guess like is that going to affect the outcome when who gets in this next year? Probably.
I don't want to come off as like a Democrat in this, but I'm going to sound like one, and I'm going to say it anyway. The purpose of this playoff, in theory, is to not be the SEC Big Ten Invitational. That's what it will be, and everyone knew once we got into like this larger playoff mode, that's what it's going to end up being. But the purpose of it, in theory, should not be the SEC Big Ten Invitational. It's the 12, and the committee said this. It's the 12 best records. To be honest, that's what it is. Now, you can debate that of what you will. Is it the most deserving? Is it the 12 best teams? Is it just the 12 best records? Who's had the best season? Like that's up for debate. But from what the committee's standpoint and really what they've shown us all year, that you win the games on your schedule and you're in. Now, regardless of if your strength of schedule is tougher, regardless if it's weaker, just think baseball. Every division is created on equal. You have a division where you play the Yankees, where you play the Red Sox, where you play the Orioles every year, and the Dodgers and the Padres and divisions like that. But then you have the NL Central, or most years the AL Central. Everything in life is not created equal. Those SEC teams, yeah, they play a tougher schedule. They're also making quadruple what the other conferences are making. They also have better facilities. They also have more players. They're also getting the better recruits. And the better recruits are still coming to these programs, even though they know they probably have less of a shot to make a college football playoff because they're going to go 9-3, because they're going to go 8-4 in a great conference. Now, yeah, I do. Jake, going back to your question, I think they will break away in a time or so later on down the road. I think that's inevitable with the revenue sharing, making them state employees for state schools. Yeah, I think that's completely reasonable that they're going to break away in the future. But the purpose of the playoff now is to bring in all of the different conferences and all the different teams from those conferences, whether they're deserving or not deserving, bringing them in to compete in a 12-team playoff.